Super Bowl contenders, the Pittsburgh Steelers, host perhaps the most exciting offense in the National Football League today, the Seattle Seahawks of Jack Patera. I'm Sam Nover, and my colleague on today's broadcast is the former Denver Bronco wide receiver Mike Hafner, who, by the way, has become the resident expert on the Seahawks. You've done what, about a half a dozen of their games lately?
About a half dozen. I've followed their progress as an expansion team in the National Football League. They're exciting, Sam.
Yes, they are indeed. Oh, yeah. They beat San Diego up and down the field. They beat them to death last Sunday, but they couldn't win the ball game, losing 24-20. Steelers, meanwhile, a very impressive win in Buffalo, and you did that game, Mike.
I did. Then Franco Harris controlled in the first half, and then Terry Bradshaw got that arm cranked up and hit Lynn Swann and John Stallworth a couple times, and that was the game.
There are some great matchups in this ball game, and we're going to be back in just a moment to examine those particular aspects of this game. I talked a moment ago about Seattle perhaps being the most exciting offense in the National Football League today. Mike, if they need a reason, it's probably a gentleman who wears number 10 who throws the ball and throws it off into number 80.
Maybe the young Fran Tarkington of the National Football League, number 10, Jim Zorn, last week against San Diego, threw for over 300 yards. His favorite wide receiver, number 80, Steve Largent, caught 6 for over 100 yards. Those two guys are going to be a factor today, and the Steelers are going to have to stop them.
One way that they're going to have to stop, obviously, is pass defense, and the Steelers have a rookie starting. Their first one since Jack Lambert cracked the starting lineup back in 1974. That rookie is going to be tested.
Number 29, Ron Johnson, the rookie out of Eastern Michigan. We just talked about the fact that Largent and Zorn are going to hook up. Who do you think they'll go after, Sam? Certainly the rookie cornerback.
You know, the Steelers do play some pretty good pass defense, despite the fact that a rookie plays a corner. They may have perhaps the best middle linebacker in the entire game today, at least against the pass. I know you love him.
I think he's the best. If I'm going to line up in a 4-3 defense, I want number 58, Jack Lambert, at middle linebacker. Last week, he covered up for all of the Steelers' defensive problems, Sam. He stopped the run in the middle, he stopped the wide sweep, and he was back there playing pass defense.
You know, a football game is not a football game without key injuries, and both teams have their share. Seattle's going to miss a very big back, Mike.
That's right. Sherman Smith is out 4 to 6 weeks with a separated shoulder, and that will hurt Zorn in his running game.
And the Steelers, defensively, needing to stop Zorn. They don't have two defensive starters today.
That's right. Lauren Taves at linebacker is out with a bad left ankle. And also Steve Furness, who last week was hurt in the pregame warm-up in the game that I did, Buffalo and Pittsburgh. And that's going to hurt them because with a scrambling quarterback, you need all those defensive linemen. They get tired in the fourth quarter.
You know, Mike, too, they're going to start a defensive end, John Banaszak, at tackle. He may be the lightest defensive tackle in pro football. We saw him before the game. If he playing at 225, that's a lot today.
He better be fast because with as light as he is, we're in a little bit of trouble in that defensive line.
Special teams will suffer for the Steelers today. Also, Jim Smith, their great punt return specialist, will not be available. And so that is our pregame look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and Seattle Seahawks.
I'm going to mention that in the fourth quarter.
The officials for today's game, the referee is Jim Tunney, the umpire Pat Harder, the head linesman Burl Toller, the line judge Dale Hamer, the back judge is Pat Knight, the side judge, that's the seventh official, Dick McKenzie, and the field judge is Don Hakes. You saw Roy Girella put the ball on the kicking tee, and we are about set to go. A jam-packed Three Rivers. The Steelers home opener, delighted to have you with us. There's the kickoff end over end. Fielded by Crawford at his own 5 to the 10. At the 20-yard line, spun around and brought down. Number 39, Rick Mosier, the Steeler rookie out of Rhode Island, is the man who made the stop on him.
Steve Largent's his main man, number 80 to throw to. You saw the wide receivers.
Hunter 24, the split back. Testerman 42. First down at the 20-yard line, the Seahawks. Zorn to throw it on first down. The home run to Largent. And he just overthrew him, and he had him open by 10 yards.
Sam, isn't it amazing that we talked about Steve Largent, the 6 passes he caught last week, and all of a sudden, the first play of the game, he's got him wide open, and Jim Zorn's not happy he missed him.
Second down. Rabel in at wide receiver. The give to Hunter. Nothing doing there. John Banaszak, number 76, is the man who brought him down behind the line of scrimmage. The Seahawks, by the way, will probably use messenger receivers today, shuffling Rabel and McCullum. There's the defensive front four of the Steelers. Looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? At least three of them, Greenwood, Green, and White. Banaszak the fourth.
Banaszak snuck in there, too. He wasn't supposed to start, but he is now.
Steelers bring in a fifth defensive back. Tony Dungy replaces Robin Cole. So it's third down, 10 yards to go. First series for the Seahawks. Zorn in an obvious pass situation. Three receivers in there, Rabel being the third. Zorn stepping up into the pocket. Over the middle, he's got Largent wide open at the 42-yard line, and that's good enough for a Seattle first down. Stopped there by Ron Johnson, the rookie.
One of the important things for the wide receivers this year is to remember that those cornerbacks cannot chuck them past that 5-yard mark. That's the new chuck rule. And Largent is going to get wide open because of that check rule. He comes across the middle, nobody around him, and he makes it for a big gain and a first down.
Robin Cole back in the lineup, so the prevent defense did not work for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Zorn trying to pick him apart early from his own 43, a first down and 10. And to give to Testerman, cutting back against the grain across the 45 to about the 47 or 48-yard line. Testerman, a big back, and I think, Mike, the feeling was it was Smith out. Testerman had to play today.
He has to set up the pass, and that's the important thing. They're not worried about breaking him for a 60-yard run, Sam. They want him to set that defense so they can't play pass first, and that's Testerman's job today, 42.
Third-year pro out of Clemson at 6'2", 230 pounds. John Sawyer in at tight end, replacing the starter Ron Howard. Now into the I formation. Al Hunter dots the I. Testerman is the up back. Second down, about 5, Seattle. Hunter close to the first down, and he may have it as he crosses into Steeler territory to about the 47-yard line. That should be good enough.
I think maybe Al Hunter's a little bit nervous today. Today is his first start ever. Notre Dame star. I think maybe the butterflies are flipping just a bit, Sam.
He's got to feel good, Mike. They're only in their third year. Sims in at running back. Hunter gets the ball and dives to about the 40, inside the 40, maybe the 39-yard line. So the Seahawks are able to move the football through the air and on the ground against the Steelers early on. Here in the first quarter, we're still scoreless.
Down, Sam. That might have shaken up the Pittsburgh Steelers too much. And yet, Seattle still driving. They're in this drive, and they're going well.
As it is, you can hear a pin drop in this place. Fans are a little bit numb at what they've seen early. Hunter shifting to the top of the eye. Zorn gives to Hunter straight up the middle. A flag is down, maybe offsides Pittsburgh. Lambert there to make the stop along with 75, Joe Green at the bottom.
Sam, we talked in the locker room with a couple of the Pittsburgh Steelers prior to the game, and they said this is the first time we have taken Seattle seriously. Last year, they had to score 17 points in the fourth quarter to come back to beat Seattle. This year going in, they know the Seattle Seahawks are a fine offensive football club.
Well, that was the feeling we had before the ball game, talking to some of the players. There's no question about it. A legal procedure against Seattle, so the Steelers were indeed not offside. The Steelers realizing that the Seahawks are for real, and you can laugh about it. Chuck Noll says it every week. You know, you talk about my easy schedule. There is no such thing.
Not in the National Football League. Anybody on any given Sunday, you want to use the old cliche.
McCullum goes wide to the left. Largent at the bottom of your screen to the right. He wears number 80. And you could almost watch him all day because he's going to get the football plenty. Zorn back to pass. Threw it in behind his intended receiver, the tight end, Ron Howard. L.C. Greenwood had the rush and the pressure on Jim Zorn, and the Steelers are going to have to get pressure on Zorn if they want to be successful.
And also the tight end has become a big factor in the National Football League. You can't hit him more than one time inside that 5-yard stripe.
At the Steeler 45-yard line, he's got 4 receivers. McCullum, Largent, Rabel, and Ronnie Howard, the tight end. Only one setback at Sims. Zorn forced out of the pocket. They got him. And he just jumped it off, and there's a flag down. Almost caught by his center, John Yarno. And the Steelers, with excellent pressure, had the blitz up the middle from Lambert and from the outside by Robin Cole, number 56. Yeah, Joe Green obviously happy about that call. That may be an intentional grounding call.
Zorn back to throw. Everyone covered.
10 yards and loss of down. 4th down.
We heard it. Intentional grounding, 10-yard penalty. And you see why. John Yarno all of a sudden became a pass receiver.
He may be able to snap well, but he hasn't got a great pair of hands, I can tell you that. Herman Weaver back to punt on 4th down, standing at his own 30-yard line. A single safety, Randy Rudershan.
Old Thunderfoot. He can boom him.
Great product out of Tennessee. Kicked it short. Rudershan will have a return. At his 23, 30, spins to the 35. Marker is down in the neighborhood of the 40-yard line. Good return by Rudershan. He's stopped by Charles McShane, the linebacker. And so the Steelers have it in fairly good field position.
Did I put pressure on Thunderfoot that time?
You did indeed.
Kind of squibbed one.
Clipping number 67 during the run back. 1st down.
Terry Bradshaw, quarterback. He's got Rocky Blyer, 20, and Franco Harris, 32, as his setbacks. The up back is Blyer to about the 25-yard line. This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League, and it is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the National Football League is prohibited. Not a bad core of receivers. Stallworth, 82, Cunningham, the tight end, 89, and Swan, 88. Harris on a misdirection play to 1st down to about the 32-yard line. Autry Beeman, strong safety, 27, coming up to make the stop.
You know, we talked about with the Steelers prior to the game what they were going to do on offense. And I'll tell you that they were afraid of Seattle because they said we're going to try and control the ball on offense to keep it away from Jim Zorn.
Cove and Brown the tackles. Larry Brown, of course, the converted tight end. Mullins and Davis are the guards. Webster the center. You like Mullins, and you like his ability to pass block.
Oh, he can do it as well as anybody in the National Football League.
And the give, big hole for Blyer, busting his way up to the 38-yard line. The Steelers on their first 3 plays have found some gaping holes in that Seattle defense. Again, it was Autry Beeman to make the stop.
There have been problems in Seattle with the defensive front 4, and look at the hole that Rocky Blyer's got.
Green Bay has gone on top of New Orleans. David Whitehurst to James Lofton. 42-yard touchdown pass, 7-0 the Pack. 2nd down, 3 here at Three River Stadium. The Steelers trying to get something mounted in a scoreless game against Seattle. Blyer cuts it back to about the 40, maybe the 41-yard line. Again, Autry Beeman to make the stop. And so Blyer carrying 3 out of 4 times here in the Steelers' first possession. Got it close to the 1st down marker. Front 4, Sandifer, Boyd, Niehaus. The name familiar? Yes, it should be. Came out of Notre Dame, was everybody's All-American, and was the 2nd man taken in the draft 3 years ago. And Alden Roche is the journeyman veteran. Is that what they call him?
He started in Denver with me. Stopped in Green Bay for a while. Now he's here.
Double tight end situation. The dive by Harrison. I believe he's got enough for the 1st down. Steelers brought in Ted Peterson and Randy Grossman for the extra blocking. And Harris got him the 1st down as he got his way to about the 43-yard line. So the Steelers have a 1st down on a moving clock with 8:23 to go in a scoreless first quarter.
When you need a 1st down, you give it to 32. That's just the name of the game. He bobbled it a little bit there, but he got the 1st down. Pittsburgh hadn't thrown the ball once yet, Sam, just as we expected. Ball control offense.
Swan goes wide to the right and Stallworth to the left. 1st down, Pittsburgh. Harris, nothing doing there. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Sandifer met him. The 4-year veteran out of UCLA who missed all of last year. Give him a gain of maybe 1 on the play, Mike. 2nd down and 9. Second down. Both receivers are split to the near side. Harris trying to get outside. Knocked down shy of midfield. Dave Brown, former University of Michigan All-American, came up to make the stop. And a penalty marker is down as Harris tried to get it outside and couldn't get there.
Dave Brown got to feel good every time he stops a Steeler, a former Steeler first-round draft choice.
He played against him last year, Mike, and I think he came back here with the intention of trying to show them something. This year, he's far more mature about it. I think he's just coming back to win a football game and not trying to show the Steelers anything.
He's proved himself in the National Football League. You don't play out on that corner spot very long and stick if you haven't got the talent.
Number 52, offense. Still second down.
At the 34-yard line. Second down, 19. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Cunningham, but great coverage. Look at the Seahawks all around him. Primary coverage from Autry Beeman, the strong safety, and good support from Cornell Webster.
Again, the Chuck rule comes into effect, and we're going to see it perfectly. Benning Cunningham gets one bump. Now he's clean. The linebacker has cleared him out. Look at how wide open he is underneath that coverage. Only the swarming tackling by the front back seven for Seattle stopped that play from a bigger gain.
Third down and long. 13 yards to go for a Steeler first down at their own 40-yard line. Feeling the pressure. Bradshaw got it out to Cunningham. Out of bounds.
Only 1 foot down, Sam. You got to have 2 in the National Football League.
Looked like a ballet dancer, didn't he? Tried to get them both down, but Big Benny couldn't do it, so the Steelers will have to kick it away. Here it is again.
In college football, you can have 1 foot in for a reception. Watch 89, Benny Cunningham. The right foot is... That one barely made it. The other one obviously not in.
Craig Colquitt back at his own 27-yard line to kick it away.
Seems funny not to see Bobby Walden back there punting.
The old man finally hung it up. Harris, the rookie, at his 23. 30. A block to the 40. 45 midfield. Spins away and finally dragged out of bounds by Alvin Maxson. But John Harris, the brilliant rookie out of Arizona State, ran it all the way back into Steeler territory. However, a flag is down back at the 40-yard line. 37 yards on the return, and let's see what this is all about. I guess it's going to be Pittsburgh because they're walking toward the spot where the ball was marked. It'll be a Seahawk first down.
How about that Yankees?
Ooh, and Gidry a two-hitter, huh?
Holy cow. Boston's got to be reeling.
So the Seahawks in great field position have it at the Steeler 37-yard line. That was a personal foul against Pittsburgh. The flag that we talked about on the Harris punt return. The sweep by Hunter trying to get outside, and he's knocked out of bounds at the far side. Donnie Shell, the strong safety, number 31, is the man who made the stop, the 5-year veteran out of South Carolina State. And you think the Seahawks are a pushover, do you, huh? Well, you stick with us, and you're going to learn something today. This ball club can put points on the board, and they can move a football up and down the field. Zorn. Couldn't escape the rush there. Brought down at the 40-yard line by Banaszak. And Banaszak has played extremely well from an unfamiliar position, Mike.
Very interesting that Banaszak is the guy who just stopped Zorn's first attempt to scramble. We talked about how thin he was and lightweight. Maybe Chuck Noll had in the back of his mind, if I get a good, slim, quick guy in there, we can contain Zorn early.
Rick Zarro has kicked a 37-yard field goal. New Orleans is on the board, trailing Green Bay 7-3. Third down, 13. 4 receivers, 1 setback for Zorn. The screen in the flat to Sims. Nothing doing. Brought down at about the 35-yard line. Lambert and Green had it diagnosed perfectly, and they combined to put him down.
Sims didn't start today because Jack Patera wanted the big, bruising fullback type in there with Sherman Smith out. But he can play football, Sims, 35, and he was in there specifically to run that screen.
The underdog Philly Eagles have gone on top of Washington 7-0. A 34-yard run by Wilbert Montgomery. And so the Eagles appear to be for real after losing that heartbreaker to the Rams last week, Mike.
I think they were the most impressive club in the preseason, Sam.
Efren Herrera will attempt out of a Zorn hold at the 42-yard line. If good, it'll be a 52-yard field goal. It's a fake, and Herrera punts it, trying to get it out of bounds. Look at this. Dead inside the 5 at about the 2. Herrera did it last week against San Diego, put it out of bounds at the 5, and this week they killed it at about the 2-yard line. So with 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in a scoreless first quarter, the Steelers and Seahawks will be back in a moment.
The Seahawks punted out of field goal position last week out on the 5-yard line. The reason you do it, there's no coverage back there. Only one guy, and he's got to watch the football and watch 87, Ronnie Howard. He's been here every game that the Seahawks have played, and he gets it on the 1-yard line. That's a heck of a place to start.
They didn't give them all the benefit of it, Mike. They spotted at the 4-yard line, so the Steelers in very, very deep trouble at their own 4. Bradshaw, the quarterback, he's still got Harris 32 and Blyer 20 as his setbacks. Not much doing there. Blyer just maybe breaking the 5-yard line. Sidney Thornton, 38 now, has replaced Harris in one of the running back spots. Steve Niehaus, 71, is the man who made the stop. That is difficult territory. What do you try to do? You don't want to give it up down there, Mike. That's for darn sure.
You keep the ball on the ground, and it's important for Seattle to stop this drive because they know that the Steelers can control the ball on the ground. If they stop them here, they'll get another little uplift.
2nd down 9. They give Blyer a yard on the carry. Bradshaw. Busted play to the 5 again. Ken Geddes was there, the veteran who formerly played with the Los Angeles Rams, 8th year out of Nebraska. And the Steelers looking a little bit ragged, to say the least, here in the first quarter.
Sidney Thornton is now in the game, teaming with Rocky Blyer, and the reason that Franco's out of there, he bruised a thigh, but they say he'll be back.
So it's 3rd down, and Stallworth comes in perhaps with a play from the bench. Grossman out of there. Swan is the other receiver, and Bill Gregory has moved in. Along with Bill Cook, 67.
Gregory, a fine pass rusher that Seattle got from Dallas.
Bradshaw needs a completion, goes for his tight end, Cunningham. He can't hang on, and Dave Brown almost had 6 points.
Woo! Dave Brown almost picked it off, and I'll tell you what, Benny Cunningham ought to cut that pass. Oh, well, Benny, you'll get another shot.
Very slow coming along, Mike. His first 2 or 3 exhibition games, shaky as the dickens. Finally kicked well against Dallas and had a fairly good day against Buffalo last week.
Oh, nice.
Look at this one. Driving Harris back to his 45, and look at the excellent coverage by the Steelers. Randy Rudershan, the first man down the field, nothing doing on that return. And so the rookie Colquitt gets the Steelers out of deep trouble. A 50-yard punt. From Three River Stadium, the Steelers and the Seahawks are scoreless. Well, the Seahawks have the football back again in excellent field position, but the Steelers are probably very happy to give them that field position. It could have been worse, Mike.
Very much so. Colquitt, the young rookie, who's taken over for Bobby Walden, the 20 years he punted for the Steelers. Boomed one out of their 50 yards, and that's what you like to see out of a rookie.
Well, if not 20, it seemed like 20, didn't it? Zorn with Hunter 24 and Testerman 42. Now Hunter moves back. Top of the eye. Largent in motion toward the line of scrimmage, and the give is to Hunter. Back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. Steelers have traditionally played the run as well as any team in the National Football League, but much to their dismay last year really got burnt by the passing game, Mike.
They had trouble last week against Buffalo. There's Franco Harris on the sidelines. He has a bruised thigh, but they say he will be back.
Joe Theismann has run 4 yards for the Redskins' first score of the day. Washington 7, Philadelphia 7. Still in the first quarter. Second down, 8. Zorn to Hunter. Smack good by Banaszak. Fumble. Steelers have it. Hunter, the rookie, getting his first start out of Notre Dame. Actually played last year, but this is his first start, and he has fumbled the football here, and the Steelers have come up with it.
That's what happens, Sam. They say, Al Hunter, you got it today. He didn't have it that time, and the Steelers are in excellent position to make a drive now.
Jack Lambert is the man who came up with that football, I believe, and the Steelers now have their best field position of the day. Here it is.
Outside, ball slips out, and yes, sir, we talked about Jack Lambert at the top. He'll do everything for you, Sam.
So from the midfield stripe, Pittsburgh puts it in play, trying to get their offense moving. Harris back in the ball game, picking up about 3 yards to the 47, stopped there by Sandifer 27 times in all of the preseason. So he was tired, to say the least. 2nd down, 7. Scoreless ball game from Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. Bradshaw rolling out. Flyer. 36-yard line. That will be a Pittsburgh first down, run out by John Harris, but not before he made sure that both feet were in.
Rocky Bleier takes advantage of the no-chuck rule. That linebacker used to meet him right at the line and hit him 4 or 5 times to keep him out of the pattern. This time, Rocky comes out, makes the out move on him, and is wide open.
1:45 to go, first quarter. It is scoreless, believe it or not. The Steelers and Seahawks, and if you have to say which team has had the better of the play, it has been overwhelmingly in Seattle's favor. Both receivers, Stallworth 82, Swan 80, split to the right. Bradshaw. Swan. Oh, right off his fingertips. Lynn Swan with coverage by Autry Beeman, and Beeman fell down.
That should have been 6, Sam.
Should it ever.
I played wide receiver too long not to know that one shouldn't have been up on the board. Oh, Lynn's a little unhappy. I think his concentration was broken when Beeman fell at his legs, bounced into him, and he thought about that instead of the ball, and that's all the time you need to drop it.
And ironically, Mike, it's Swan who prides himself in having the best concentration of anybody in this game. He says he can go on the field and forget his own name when he's thinking about the football.
That's what you have to do, because you're going to get nailed whether you catch it or not, so you might as well catch the ball.
2nd down, 10. At the Seattle 36-yard line. Both receivers split to the top of your screen. Here's a quick pitch to Bleier. And an excellent defensive play by number 38, Cornell Webster, the second-year man out of Tulsa, who came up to shut off the run and did it extremely well.
Cornell Webster was the 5th back in when they had their nickel defense, Sam, last season. Now he's got the starting cornerback job, and he did that all last year and will continue to do it. He plays the run very well.
So the Steelers faced with a big 3rd down play here, 3rd down 11 at the 37-yard line, trying to keep their drive alive and at least get themselves in field goal range. Little play action from Bradshaw. Got a man wide open. Cunningham, 20-yard line. First down, Steelers inside the 20. Autry Beeman, who is all over the football field, is the man who made the stop.
Kenny Cunningham, one of my favorites, and with the tight end being able to get open, and you see Benny there, oh, that hurt. You have to pay the price if you want to catch the ball in the NFL. Look at him, how wide open he is, Sam, and the reason is because of that new chuck rule. They can't hold him up. He gets there quickly into that defensive secondary. He was wide open. Terry found him easily, and that really helps the Steelers at a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, Autry Beeman did a wee bit of headhunting there, and he caught Cunningham, but good, and Benny is still down, being attended to by the Steeler doctors and their training corps.
Son.
So the Steelers, with a big 3rd down conversion, have it 1st down now at the Seattle 20-yard line. Good protection for Bradshaw. He's got Swan intercepted and then dropped. Picked up by Geddes, and I don't believe Webster it is, and I don't believe they're going to allow the interception. He had it, lost it. Actually, Swan had it and lost it. Then Webster got it and lost it, and the play is just an incompleted pass.
You want to see 2 receivers drop the ball on the same play? You're going to see it. Lynn Swan surprised me. The throw was back to his left shoulder. That's tough for a right-hander. You'll see that he has to go back to get it. It slips out of his hands. Cornell Webster has a shot. He's going to run for a touchdown, and he forgot something, though. Pigskin slipped out of his hands. What a break for the Steelers.
So it goes as nothing more than an incompleted pass.
You must have control of the ball, and Webster didn't have control.
2nd down and 10. Franco picks up about 5 up the middle. Quick opener moving off his own right tackle, Larry Brown, between Brown and Mullins. Autry Beeman is the man who made the stop, so the Steelers again facing that all-important 3rd down conversion, have 3rd down and 5.
Sam, the one thing you don't want to do in the National Football League is to put yourself into a situation where they must throw the ball.
Well, we've come to the end of the first quarter here at Three Rivers Stadium, a quarter in which the Seahawks have moved it up and down the field, but as you see, no score. We'll be back with the second quarter of today's football game. After the halftime, Brian Gumbel and Mike Adamle will bring you right up to date on everything around the National Football League and highlights of many of them. You'll want to stay tuned for that. Here we go, 3rd down and 5. Biggest play of the first half thus far, if there is such a thing this early in the game. Grossman at the 5, inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. And the Steelers have sustained the drive again. It'll be 1st down and goal, and that's the man with the great hands. Not big enough, they say, to play tight end or beat anybody out. All he does is catch the football every time it's thrown in his direction.
You know, the Pittsburgh Steelers never threw to their tight end. They just seem to be a blocker in their game. Brown has now moved to tackle for them. But with this new Chuck rule, you have to throw to the tight end. They just got to be open, and they have been all day.
2 out of 4 3rd down conversions for Pittsburgh. Second quarter, early seconds. There you see Bradshaw's stats. 1st and goal. Touchdown to Swan. Bradshaw to Swan, and he threw it the only place nobody in the world could have caught it but Swan.
That was a perfect throw. You want that quarterback to throw that ball low in the end zone if he can at all possible. And I'll tell you, when you got 88 there to catch the ball for you, you can throw it anywhere. Interesting note on that play, Sam. Brown was wide open, number 79. It was a tackle eligible. And Seattle read it, but they didn't know how to cover Swan.
So Jarrella will attempt to make it 7-0 out of a Craig Colquitt hold. And the Steelers get on the board first. Kick is up and perfect, as you see. And so with Seattle dominating early on, the Steelers have been the first to put points on the board. A 7-0 ball game. Bradshaw hitting his favorite receiver, Lynn Swan, from 4 yards out.
The touchdown pass to Swan. And watch where he throws it. No one can get it except Lynn, and that's the important thing. Terry made a perfect throw. Lynn, the great catch.
Well, I got a feeling he felt he owed him one, after missing the earlier one.
I think so.
With Mike Hafner, Sam Nover at Three Rivers Stadium, the Steelers lead at 7-0. Rufus Crawford, 34. Duke Ferguson, 89. In the deep receiving spots, here's Jarrella's kick, a line drive. Crawford at his 10. 20. At the 25, upended, falls to about the 28. Rick Mosier is the guy who made the stop. He can play ahead of Bradshaw if he can throw it like Namath. So from their own 28-yard line, the Seahawks to put it in play, trailing here 7-0. Hunter and Testerman are the backs. Nice hole. I take it back. It was Crawford, the ball carrier. Rufus Crawford, number 34, the rookie out of Virginia State.
I think Jack Patera discovered that maybe Al Hunter was just a bit nervous. He has fumbled once and missed a couple of holes, and now they're going to give the young guy, Rufus Crawford, a shot.
2nd down 4, gain of 6 by Crawford. You look at Patera having to hear what happened.
But coach.
Yeah, it's part of the game. Don Testerman, offensive running back, talking with Patera as Largent comes in motion. Green hit the ball carrier Sims and slowed him down. Now Ronnie Howard and Dwight White do a little shoving there, nothing serious. Steele's got the Eagles moving. He's got them thinking they can win, and as you have pointed out, Mike, on numerous occasions, that's half of the ball game here.
That's it.
You can believe in yourself. You got half of it licked, and you got to have the talent. 3rd down and 2. Green's got him in the backfield, and Crawford is down at the 29. And Mean Joe, who did not have a particularly good game against Buffalo, is asserting himself here before the people who love him most. 50,350 strong in Pittsburgh.
What a great play by Joe Green. I did that game last week, Buffalo-Pittsburgh. Joe was nowhere to be found. What a lift that's got to be for the defense. They know the pressure's on the defensive line, and to have the main man do his number, that's great.
Thunderfoot Herman Weaver standing back at his own 15-yard line, kicking to Randy Rudershan, the single safety. Rudershan is a very interesting story. Played wide receiver at Pitt. We'll give you more about him later on. Right at him. He can run this one back. 35, 40, 43-yard line. Penalty marker is down. So is Rudershan. Another 13-yard return. Keith Butler is the man who made the stop. As I started to say, Rudershan played wide receiver at the University of Pittsburgh, was the kamikaze kid, great on special teams. Came to Pittsburgh, they tried him at the defensive back, then converted him back to receiver. Now he's returning punts, and he's just doing everything for him.
Watch the clip right here. There it is. And the referee is right on top of it. Mosier, number 39, the clip.
So they walk off the 15, and it's going to be in Denver for San Diego, Michael, aren't you?
Yes.
Bradshaw giving to Franco. 25, 30, out of bounds, almost to the 40-yard line. John Harris ran him out. And we have received word up here that Bradshaw may have sustained a hand injury. He is still in there, as we indicated, but it may cause him a little bit of passing consternation.
You know, that was a fine run by Franco Harris, number 32. Did you see the great move he made to get outside? You just are in awe of a big man like that with that kind of outside speed.
Cincinnati leads the Browns 10-0. A Chris Barr field goal of 38 yards in New Orleans has gone on top of Green Bay 10-7. So they're starting to score all around the National Football League. Here it's 7-0 Pittsburgh. Flyer. First down in Seattle territory at the 43, stopped by John Harris. The rookie out of Arizona State, but Bradshaw's got him moving again.
Something Bradshaw could not do in his first 3 or 4 years with the Steelers. He couldn't take the finesse pass. He couldn't take something off of it. What a great throw. Rocky's wide open, lays it out there nice and soft so that you don't throw it over his head.
That's a superb observation, Mike, because that has been the bane of Bradshaw's existence in the National Football League. People say he threw it all the time like a bullet, and he just couldn't do that touch pass. But you were absolutely right. That was beautifully thrown.
He loves his own arm. He likes to see him throw it.
He likes it so much, he's going to do it again. Flyer couldn't handle this one out in the flat, and just as well, because great coverage there from Cornell Webster and Sammy Green. The left or what?
I wouldn't want to see Dallas if I was a team someplace.
5 defensive backs. The Steelers run against it and run well. First down from Flyer. They brought in Terry Justin on 2nd down and 10 as the 5th defensive back. Bradshaw read it beautifully and gave to Flyer.
Also was part of the Tony Dorsett trade.
He sure was
one of the draft choices they used from Dallas, and he's a great player, going to be an outstanding middle linebacker.
But has not been a factor today. Flags are down. Franco reversing. Must have run 30 yards to gain maybe 1. Ken Geddes, the right side linebacker, is the man who made the stop. Preliminary call, offsides against Sandifer and the Seattle Seahawks.
We saw 2 of the have-nots supposedly, but both won their openers last week. They want to both be undefeated after this one.
Franco's got 33 yards unofficially in 6 carries. Blyer 24. And this time it was Harris for very short yardage. And just as I mentioned the fact that we hadn't mentioned Beeson's name, he makes a stop along with Ken Geddes.
He heard us. Let's do it.
You see his rushing stats for the day. 2nd down and 3. The big backfield, which means Sidney Thornton, the thundering bull, replaces Blyer. And he gets the football and bulls his way to a first down inside the 20. Beeson again on the stop, but not before the second-year man from southwest Louisiana or northwest Louisiana, I beg your pardon, Sidney, gets the first down.
Sidney's the kind of running back that linebackers hate. All of his weight is about 3 feet off the ground, and when those big legs come through there churning, you pay on the tackle, I guarantee you.
I think I could have run through that hole. Webster and Mullins had an avenue for Sidney. You could drive a Mack truck through it.
This is the kind of drive Pittsburgh wanted. On the ground, don't have to use the pass that much.
8:45 to go, second quarter, 7-0 Pittsburgh. Bradshaw over the middle, all alone, touchdown to Sidney Thornton. Bradshaw had all day.
An excellent throw by Terry Bradshaw to Thornton out of the backfield, and watch number 36 of the Seahawks, Ken Geddes. He falls down, and that's why Thornton is wide open. You can see him now just crossing over, trying to get back into the play, but he had fallen down. Thornton wide open. Terry again took something off the pass because he was open, hit him perfect.
Back fly for the extra point. Bradshaw throwing to Sidney Thornton, the first career reception for the Thundering Bull for a touchdown. Jarrell attacks on the extra point. So the Steelers, who were reasonably dominated in the first quarter, are making shambles of the Seahawks here in the second quarter. 76 yards, the scoring drive in 7 plays. And now you officially see the extra point was good. And the Steelers enjoying a 14-0 lead. 14-10, there are seesaw affairs all around the National Football League today. Bryant and Mike will bring you right up to date at halftime. So stay with us. Jurella kicks it out of the world, isn't he? Crawford takes it 5 yards past the end line. And the fans here really like it. You can hear some false cheers. He has been booed in recent seasons for losing some of that great strength in the leg. You know, Mike?
Had a bad
Seahawks, if there's such a term, 11-2.
Don't count the Seahawks out. They could put 20 on the board in less than 5 minutes.
Jim Zorn will do what he does best. You can rest assured as the clock becomes a factor here in the first half. Down 14-0. Sets up the screen. A tight end screen to Ronnie Howard, I believe. It was. To no avail. Howard's a 5-year pro out of Seattle. 6'4", 240. Just couldn't get his fingers around the football. And look at Steve August start clapping it up. August is playing before about 45 friends and family here at Three Rivers today. He's a young man who hails from Jeanette, Pennsylvania, about 30 miles outside of Pittsburgh. And to say the least, he was thrilled about coming home.
Last time he played in this stadium was the state high school championship game,
That's
I
right.
think.
WPIAL. Robin Cole is out. Tony Dungy is in. 5 backs for the Steelers. Second down 10. The Seahawks find themselves down 14-0. Over the middle to Hunter. 25. First down to the 32-yard line. An excellent piece of running by Hunter after he caught the football. Ham 59 and Donnie Shell 31 converged to make the stop. But the winningest second-year team, expansion team in National Football League history. They won 5, beat the Browns. I did that game. Fell in love with this ball club. They are most exciting, and when Zorn gets it gunned up, they can score from any place on the field anytime.
That's why I said don't count them out.
Look at this. Howard is wide open. 40, 35, 30, out of bounds at the 25, just shy of the out of bounds. Ronnie Howard, the tight end, and just as I was speaking about Zorn, he really is electric, isn't he?
We talked earlier about the fact that the tight end can get off the line without being touched. Here's the prime example. Look at how wide open he is. Jack Lambert had to chase him all the way because he couldn't chuck him to hold him up, Sam. And that's the biggest gain that Seattle's had today.
42 yards and a Seattle first down at the Steeler 25. A moving clock. We're under 7 minutes to play first half. Pittsburgh 14, Seattle nothing. Mike Hafner and Sam Nover, delighted to have you with us along our NBC network today from the I formation. Zorn pump faked. I think he wanted Largent originally. He was the primary receiver.
They wanted to juice up the offense.
They did it. They sure did. Double chuck. You can only hit the receiver once within a 5-yard zone from the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Then he's free. Look at Hunter. 15-yard line and a Seattle first down. Brought down by Lambert, but Hunter running the daylights out of the football. And the Seahawks are knocking on touchdown door. First down at the 13.
When you're nervous, you want your offensive lineman to give you a hole to run in. I could run through that one, Sam. You and I both could run through there. That makes it a lot easier for Hunter. He can do his thing and be loose when there's a hole like that.
Bob Newton, number 78, clearing the way for him. Newton is a big, tough guard. Well, the Giants are on the board. 14-7 Dallas.
Dallas finally gave up a score, huh?
Joe Pisarcik to Al Dixon. 3-yard touchdown pass. Steelers got their problems right here now. Zorn, they got it. Fumbles the football. Green's got it. Loses it. And finally, Banaszak falls on it at the 35-yard line, but a marker is down. A penalty flag is down at the 13-yard line. And the Steeler defense, waiting patiently on the field, will have to come back because it's holding against Pittsburgh.
Defensive holding. They were looking for the pass, trying to hold up the receiver. Somebody grabbed on. They got caught, and oh, what a break for Seattle.
L.C. Greenwood is the victim, defensive holding, so the Seahawks, instead of losing possession at the Steeler 35, now will have it first down at the 7-yard line. 1st and 5.
Tough break for the Steelers. What they wanted to do was put pressure on Zorn. They finally got the pressure. He fumbles, and they have to bring it back.
Steelers now beef up the front four. They take Banaszak out, put Tom Beasley, 65, in. Beasley obviously bigger and stronger to play the run here. Rufus Crawford, 34, Testerman, 42, the running backs. Look at that. What a fabulous hole for Crawford as he dives and crawls to about the 2-yard line. And that will be, they're going to spot it at about the 1. Let's pause briefly for station identification. 2 yards away from getting on the board. David Sims, 35, Crawford, 34. Nothing doing. Crawford, great second effort as he slid off one tackle, and he got to about the 1-yard line.
I got questioned all week, Sam, about the steel curtain.
You'll see it yourself. Inches from the goal line, 3rd down. Touchdown, David Sims, number 35. Second-year pro out of Georgia Tech, and the Seahawks are on the board.
It was 14-0, Sam, and I think everybody figured, well, the Seahawks are out of it. And then they come right back with an 80-yard march, keyed by that pass to the tight end, Ronnie Howard. And Sims into the end zone. Excellent blocking by Testerman, 42, to clear it out.
Bob Newton, 78, the 8-year pro out of Nebraska, all of a sudden has come into his own. He was kind of a journeyman offensive lineman, but he has really beefed it up here the last year. Efren Herrera attempting to tack on the extra point. And he did.
6'40", and weigh 250 pounds. You got to get him the football.
Got to get him the ball. First down. Steelers only have 1 timeout. Seahawks have all 3 of theirs. Bradshaw almost intercepted. First pass intended for Stallworth today. The ball arrived at the same time that John Harris arrived. He came in. Harris is a 7th-round draft choice. Jury is the 3rd. 5 defensive backs employed by Seattle. The Steelers counter with a run, and Harris crawls. Maybe for the first down. I believe he's got it.
Got it by a yard.
He did indeed, to the 47-yard line. And the Steelers now with the clock moving at 58 seconds in their hurry-up offense again. Bradshaw back to pass. Sideliner to Swan, almost picked off. Cornell Webster got a hand on it. 2nd down 10, 46 seconds left in the half. Pittsburgh leading 14-7. Nothing doing for Franco. Peter Cronin, number 57, the middle linebacker, along with David Brown, the ex-Steeler, came up to shut off the run. 3rd down, and the clock continues to move. Bradshaw's got 1 timeout left. He'd like to save it. Oh, way over the intended receiver. Lynn Swan, but they're going to get pass interference. What a break for Pittsburgh. That was overthrown by 5 yards, and somehow Cornell Webster bumped Swan, and the flag went down.
Oh, I don't know about that one. There was no chance for Lynn Swan to catch the ball, and in order to call the penalty in that situation, it's a good thing he wasn't in the Kingdome calling that one. They might have been down in the field. Offensive pass interference, or defensive pass interference.
The Steelers were obviously in a 4th down situation, prepared to punt it away. They couldn't attempt the field goal. Now they got a chance for at least 3. The home run ball to Swan. Oh, and he couldn't hang on. Webster went up with him. Swan got his hands on it, but couldn't hang on.
A little bit of a flat pass, Sam. I think the problem here, Terry should have dropped it over the shoulder of Lynn Swan. You see, he drills it. Webster had just enough time to get his hand up to knock it away. Had him beat, though.
14 seconds left, so Bradshaw will have a play. Then, of course, utilize the 1 timeout he's got left, I would imagine, if it doesn't make it, and then let Jarella get on and try to put 3 on the board. Swan coming back to the huddle, 14 seconds to go in the half.
I'd go back to my tight end here. You've shown passes to your wide receiver. Let's open it up a little bit, draw those safeties toward the wide receiver, and hit Cunningham or back over the middle.
See what happens. He's got all day. And he's got Stallworth. Oh, and a great defensive play. And again, I think Bradshaw was guilty of not getting the pass up, Mike. Just as you pointed out, John Harris got back to break it up, but on both occasions, the first one to Swan, that one to Stallworth, the receiver had his man beat.
You'll see the action right here. Very important that Terry get the ball there sooner. He did not. Gave a chance for Cornell Webster to react. Now he knocks it down.
We want to welcome those of you who have been watching Cleveland, Cincinnati. With Mike Hafner, this is Sam Nover at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. 7 seconds left in the half. Roy Girella will attempt a 53-yard field goal out of a Craig Colquitt hold. The Steelers lead it 14-7 against the surprising Seahawks. No good. Wide to the left. Girella had enough leg, I believe, Michael, but it was a little to the left.
Again, we pointed out earlier, he's had a groin problem for 2 years. This is the first year he's got the power back, and you could see it there. 53 yards for Roy Girella is a long poke.
Well, Girella, as we indicated earlier, has really incurred the wrath of the Steeler fans the last couple of years. They were really disappointed that he didn't get a better challenge from a rookie who had been drafted, a young man by the name of Jurek. He looked good in the first exhibition game or preseason ball game and then didn't do much after that. Well, quickly recapping, the Steelers tried to blow them out in the second quarter after Seattle had dominated early on in the first. Bradshaw to Swan, 7-0 Pittsburgh. Bradshaw to Thornton, 14-0. And then Jim Zorn brought the Seahawks back, capped off an 80-yard drive on a Dave Sims run from 1 yard out. And the conversion made it 14-7. That is precisely where we are as the gun sounds, ending the first half of play. It has been a great one. The Steelers have a man down on the field, incidentally. Somebody down there laying on the 50-yard line. But the Steelers, who had a chance to blow the Seahawks out,
They didn't like that 14-7 lead coming into the second half against Jim Zorn and the crazies on offense in Seattle.
Let's see what he does about it here in the second half of play. Efren Herrera set to kick. Alvin Maxson is the deep man for the Steelers, but it comes to Rudershan, and it goes out of bounds. And so a 5-yard penalty will be stepped off against Seattle, and now Herrera will have to kick it from the 30-yard line. He tried to get it to one of the short men instead of kicking it right down the middle. 14-7, Pittsburgh leads it. Nice to have you with us. Here's the second half kickoff for a second time. Maxson has it back at his own 5. 10. Great coverage by Cornell Webster. How's that for special teams play? Knocked him down at about the 17-yard line. And so the Steelers will start from that point, leading by 7. Bradshaw's on the field, so apparently that hand injury is nothing serious. Thornton, number 38, along with Rocky Blyer, number 20, as his setbacks. And that's Blyer, nothing doing there. Terry Beeson, the middle linebacker, number 58, is the man who met him head on and put him down right at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd down and 10, Pittsburgh.
And again, the reason that Thornton is in there, we just caught a glimpse before we went to that play of Franco Harris getting his thigh and hip taped. He's got a little bit of a bruise. They say he'll continue to play, but Thornton's in there now.
They gave him a gain of 1 on the play, make it 2nd down and 9. Swan is split wide to the right, Stallworth to the left. Stallworth has not caught a pass today. Thornton caught in the backfield. Sandifer, number 66, is the man who made the stop. Dennis Boyd was there to help him. And so a loss of a couple of yards. Make it 3rd down at about 12 or 13 to go for the first down. Second inning, the Yankees are running the Red Sox right out of Fenway Park. Would you believe that?
15-3, 7-0 last night, 13-2, and they're jumping out all over them. That green wall must be aching from the Yankee hitters.
And if they win today, they'll be in a virtual tie for first place, setting up that great series that you'll see at least one of them Saturday afternoon back in New York next weekend. The Red Sox and Yankees. Bradshaw scrambling for his life. Intercepted, but out of bounds. Autry Beeman.
Silly throw by Terry Bradshaw. Should have never thrown it, although he did catch it out of bounds. There was a possibility he could have got it picked up. Terry does a little Jim Zorn here. A little bit of coverage. He's scrambling. I think maybe he should have turned upfield and maybe tried for the first down, but he threw it right into the defensive back's hands, Autry Beeman.
Back live. Steelers have to kick it away on 4th and 12. John Harris in single safety back at the midfield stripe. Colquitt got off a dandy in the first quarter, 50 yards from his own end zone. This one is not quite that good. At the 49. Harris hit, trying to get away, and down. Hanging on for dear life is Steve Corson, number 77, and a particularly impressive tackle for a big man, 260, getting downfield. 36-yard kick. Will be back to Pittsburgh in just a moment.
They got to have him back in there.
Well, the Seahawks, speaking of gotta have, they got to have something out of this. Look at this field position at their own 49-yard line. Testerman, 42, is the up back. The pitch to Hunter. 50, 46-yard line. Brought down by Dwight White, number 78, a gain of about 5 on the play.
Good call by Jim Zorn. 2nd and 5 is what you want to be in the National Football League. Some scores.
Redskins blowing it wide open, 28-10 over the Eagles in the third quarter. To see that ball club next week against Oakland.
Say hello to Bart Starr for me. He's
will.
my favorite. Like to see him win it.
2nd down and 5. Largent in motion. Testerman against the grain for about 3 yards. He'll be a little shy of the first down. 75 is Joe Green. Banaszak also assisting on the play, so it's 3rd down, an important possession play here for Jim Zorn, former Notre Dame star.
Watch out, though. Zorn can sneak a pass in on short, 3rd and short.
Double tight end situation. And the dive to Sims. He's got the first down and plenty more. Inside the 40 to about the 38 before he got pushed back. And that offensive line, we haven't given him enough credit. Invariably, you don't, you know, Mike. But Bebout and August at the tackles and Lynch and Newton at the guards. Yarno the center. That's a young offensive line. They got 3 second-year men. Dallas, 21-14. The Giants are not dead yet. Bobby Hammond, 11-yard run, getting the Giants to within 7 of Dallas.
Giants are for real this year, Sam.
So it's 1st down and 10 from the Steeler 37-yard line. The I formation, Zorn moving the ball club again. Zorn doesn't like something he sees and calls a timeout. So Jimmy Zorn, wisely calling a timeout rather than taking the delay of game, goes to the sidelines to talk to Jack Patera. The Steelers must be showing them something different here. We'll return to Three River Stadium in just a moment. Pittsburgh still leading the Seattle Seahawks. It's 14-7.
These were 14 and a half out in the middle of July, and they're right back in it. What a series. Oh, that is going to be wild.
A lot of people who hate that ball club because Steinbrenner bought a world championship, but you got to respect what they've done this season.
Really?
From the I formation, 1st down for Jimmy Zorn and the Seahawks. Play action. Wide open, Largent at the 20 to the 15-yard line. Steve Largent beat Robin Cole. Donnie Shell, the strong safety, came over to help, but Largent was wide open on the crossing pattern. Times is not a lot. He threw it 32 times. Last Sunday, in fact, went back to pass 40 times.
Game's not over yet, Sam. You'll get 30 in.
1st down at the 15. That's David Sims for a couple of yards. Stopped by Banaszak on the top. Green on the side. Who's at the bottom? Might be Lambert. 58 it is, and he's still down. Largent has 3 receptions today for 72 yards. Is that 58 or 68? It's 68, and that's Greenwood, not Lambert.
Can't afford to lose any of those offensive front four, Sam. Zorn's going to make them run around all day, and if they have to wait and get tired, they're in trouble.
Mike, I think he got his bell rung, Mr. Greenwood.
The smelling salt's out, and that's the prime requisite. Wake him up.
2nd down and 8. Beasley has replaced the injured L.C. Greenwood. Up the middle for the 1st down? No, a little bit shy. David Sims, the ball carrier, coming up perhaps 2 yards shy. So let's set that front four for Pittsburgh now. Banaszak replaces Greenwood at end. And then Beasley moves in on the inside along with Joe Green. Dwight White is the other defensive end.
What a smart call by Jim Zorn. They had to shuffle the defensive line because of an injury, and you run right at him then, and Sims picks up the big yardage.
So it's 3rd down and short yardage now for Zorn and the Seahawks. Yes, they are within range of tying this football game. They were 14-point underdogs. Less than 9 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Double tight end. Hunter trying to get outside. He's got a blocker. Out of bounds, but I believe he got the first down. Let's see where he stepped out and where they mark it. Donnie Shell ran him out. I have never in all my years heard this crowd in Pittsburgh so quiet, Mike.
They are quiet. And look at Donnie Shell had a chance to string it out, and he does his job well, but he didn't keep Hunter from making the first down. Did he?
Well, they've spotted the ball at about the 5.5, so apparently he did. Shell made himself some play over there. Now the crowd comes alive. 4th down and 6 inches, maybe a foot.
And we talked about, will Jack let him go for it? In this situation, they've got to.
Big back, Sims 35, Testerman 42. Sims, first down Seattle. He got inside the 5.
Excellent run by Sims. Turned that shoulder so he could get through the crack in the defensive lineman, and he just slipped in. Now watch him turn his shoulder. This is the key, Sam. Watch the shoulders turn sideways. See, and he got that little crack in the line and made the first down. Great running.
He slashed for it. Shell comes out. Tony Dungy goes into the defensive backfield, and the Steelers now really with their backs against the wall. 5 yards away, the Seattle Seahawks are from tying this football game. At least a conversion would tie it.
Seahawks are for real, and I'll tell you, the Steelers have got their hands full.
Second back, it's Hunter to about the 3-0 more. White ganging up along with Mike Wagner, number 23, to stop him. With Mike Hafner, this is Sam Nover at Three Rivers Stadium. We got a great football game. They may be seesawing it everywhere else in the National Football League today. We got the Steeler fans holding their breath. They are dying.
They will.
Second down and goal at the 3. Play action. Hunter couldn't get it. Robin Cole had him covered very nicely. Cole, the second year man out of New Mexico at 6'2", 222. And as good against the run as any young linebacker you'll see. He's got some upper body strength. I've seen him put pulling guards on their backs who outweigh him by 40 pounds.
Jim Zorn was smart, and again, the scouting report was there. Lauren Taves is hurt. He's the main man out there. Cole had to step in last week in Buffalo, played very well, but they're going after him today.
This Zorn is something else.
I love him.
Sims and Testerman, that makes 2 of us. Third down and goal. Sims. No, sir. Look at the Steelers gut it up. Ronnie Johnson, the rookie, on top. Wagner, 23, was there. So was Mean Joe, 75. And Sims is still a couple of yards shy. In fact, they spotted on the 3.
And Herrera's going to come in, maybe make his first field goal ever, for the Seahawks, obviously. He gets a short chip shot this time. He can't be short.
If he were to shank this one.
Oh, don't even say it.
I wouldn't want to be within 2,000 miles of Seattle. From the 10-yard line, it'll be a 20-yard kick by Herrera out of Zorn's hold. You're looking right down his throat. Perfect. Efren Herrera has earned his first paycheck as a Seattle Seahawk, and he's moved the Seahawks to within 4 points of the heavily favored Pittsburgh Steelers. That's the story. 14-10 Pittsburgh. Mike and I will be back in a moment. He's got the Charlie horse. Donnie Shell had to come out with some cramps. Herrera to kick it away in a 14-10 Pittsburgh lead. 6.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Alvin Maxson back at the goal line. To the 10. 20, fumbles the ball. Scramble is on.
I think the Steelers have got it.
They do. Maybe Corson, number 77, who recovered the fumble, but Maxson had that one come flying out of his arms. And it was Steve Corson, the rookie out of South Carolina. Actually, he's a first-year man. He was waived injured all of last year.
The Pittsburgh Steeler fans, all of them took a deep breath when that one popped out of Maxson's hands. That could have really turned the game around.
So from their 25-yard line, Terry Bradshaw and the Steelers will put it in play. He's got Harris back in the game.
He's got to get some offense going, Sam. It's a must. The momentum's on Seattle's side.
Harris, nothing doing. Underneath, it's Steve Niehaus, 71. On top, about 4 of them, including Sandifer, 66. Dennis Boyd, 68. There's a young man you like a lot, Mike.
Dennis Boyd can play football, and he, in his second year, was named captain by Jack Patera, who's coached some great defensive lines. you know that Dennis Boyd's a great player.
So Gregory, number 77, replaces Alden Roche. Gregory was a late preseason acquisition from Dallas. Bradshaw to throw it. To Cunningham, no, tipped away very neatly by number 38, Cornell Webster. And he and Autry Beeman have been all over the football field today. And again, I think it was not thrown well by Bradshaw.
Poor throw. Again, Benny Cunningham broke early, and Terry didn't get the ball to him until much, much later. Gave the opportunity for Webster, who, by the way, is having an outstanding game. If you got to face up with number 88, Lynn Swan, every down, and you're doing as well as he is, he's having quite an afternoon.
So Bradshaw now confronted with the kind of situation that Zorn had. 3rd down and 10. Zorn had it numerous times in Pittsburgh territory. Bradshaw's got to operate from his own 25. Split backs, Blyer and Harris. He lofts this one to Swan. First down at the 42. From the 2-yard line. Bradshaw trying to give his team a comfortable margin. Harris, or rather Blyer, stood up at the line of scrimmage. Keith Butler, number 53, is the man. Sam Nover with Mike Hafner here at Three Rivers Stadium. Thank you, Brian, very much. We are in the 3rd quarter. You see Pittsburgh leading Seattle 14-10. Bradshaw to Swan, 7-0. Bradshaw to Thornton, 14-0. Then Jimmy Zorn brought the Seahawks back. Dave Sims capped off an 80-yard drive. The conversion 14-7. Herrera in the 3rd quarter, 14-10. The Steelers are trying to go in again. The gun sounds, ending the 3rd quarter, so they'll have to score it at the other end of the field if they're going to score it. Pittsburgh 14, Seattle 10. Bradshaw will have some time now to talk with Chuck Noll, find out exactly what has to be done on 3rd and 3. Ready, but right now, let's see what the Steelers do. First play of the 4th quarter, 3rd down and goal at the 3. Thornton in motion, lead block for Harris. Trying to cut it up. No, he didn't make it. How's that for defense? John Harris, 44, lost his helmet at about the 1-yard line. Butler was over there, number 53. Wow. I'll tell you what, the Seahawks knew if they let him in the end zone on this 3rd down play, Sam, it might be all over. And look at how wild those guys are, fighting off the blocks. And to stop Franco Harris on the 1-yard line, you're doing a job. Are they going to go for it? Well, apparently not, because that's the booing you hear now. Bradshaw has to call for a timeout in all the confusion.
Oh, that one's a wasted timeout.
So Bradshaw back to the sidelines. He has spent an eternity there in the last 5 minutes of this football game. He is not happy with the slow process of the decision-making, I can assure you. It'll be 4th and goal at the 1 when we come back. Stadium in Pittsburgh, the chanting has begun. It's 4th down and goal at the 1-yard line. The Steelers lead by 4. The Seahawks try to gut it up here, keep the Steelers out of the end zone.
Don't have to say this is a big play.
Harris to the goal line. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Seahawks are not happy. The Steelers are obviously ecstatic about it. It took them 4 to punch it in, but that's why you got 4 down sometimes, Mike.
That's right. That's why you got number 32 in the backfield. He just barely made it over the line.
75 yards in 16 plays. Peter Cronin is livid, number 57. He would like to bite somebody's head off, I can assure you. But the fact is, Harris got at least over the plane of the end zone, the goal line, and that's all he's got to do to get the 6. And so Roy Girella will now attempt to make it 21-10 Pittsburgh. Cole quit holding. Kick is up. It is letter perfect. And let it never be said that the Seahawks gave up, folks, because they made Pittsburgh fight for every inch of tartan surface here at Three Rivers. Ferguson 89, Rufus Crawford 34. There you see the score. Girella. Boomer. Almost out of the end zone. Crawford will have to down it. A touchback, and Zorn will put it in play at the 20-yard line. And the question is, being asked by a few in the press box, was Harris in or wasn't he?
We'll get another look at it and find out, especially from Terry Bradshaw. He'll tell us, is he in? Well, no. I'm going to wait. Yes, now he's in. Thank you, Terry. I think Terry's a little biased, though.
Yeah, I would think so. L.C. Greenwood is back on the field, so apparently that ankle or leg injury is not serious enough to prevent him from playing, number 68. You see him flanked on the left by Jack Ham. Zorn, excuse me, Mike.
They need Hollywood Baggs in there for that pass rush. They got to have him.
And because you know Zorn's going to be throwing it. From behind, Greenwood's got him. And out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Well, Greenwood dogged him all the way around from behind and came up on the blind side and hit Zorn out of bounds.
When you've got a guy who scrambles, you want your people in there who are quick on the defensive line. They couldn't afford to lose him. I just said that. And there comes the speed of LC, and he's got him for a loss.
You talk about possession. The Steelers went into this game wanting to possess the football. Well, the 16-play drive took 7 minutes and 22 seconds, Mike.
That's a National Football League drive when you want to keep control. That's perfect. Great time.
Kind that Chuck Noll is in love with, I can assure you. Second down, 14. Make it 13. Zorn with Hunter and Testerman in the backfield. Greenwood again, and he's down at the 8. Well, if he was injured, it wasn't very badly, I can assure you. Vanazak was there to help him, but Greenwood had the impetus and put Zorn down.
I said they couldn't afford to lose L.C. Greenwood on that front line. They got to have it. That's the fourth sack of Zorn and the Seattle Seahawks. And
Dwight White, 78, is down.
I guess everybody has to get a little nick or bruise on the Steelers before they get cranked up.
He is reeling a bit in agony. 78, the veteran out of East Texas State, number 8. Dwight White, who has had a fabulous career with the Steelers. I will best remember him, Mike, I think, for coming out of a sickbed with 102 temperature and playing in New Orleans in Super Bowl IX like nobody's business. When he was sicker than a dog, had been in the hospital, he had, I think, pleurisy.
That's what it was?
Just a fabulous effort. Well, Pittsburgh fans will want to know about that one. 10-3 Cincinnati. They're in the fourth quarter over the Browns, and Cleveland was favored. And White is on his feet, by the way. Don Cockcroft, the field goal from 32 yards. The Giants are not dead yet. Down by 10 in the fourth quarter to the Dallas Cowboys. And Washington, a runaway over the Eagles today, 35-16. Theismann has got it together.
Bobby Beathard is the new general manager there. And here we got another score. How about that? Kansas City's wing T's coming back 10-6 over Houston.
There's your upset of the day if it holds. Kansas City leading Houston. 4 linebackers. Third down, 17 for Zorn. Testerman for about 5, and Lambert stands him up, and they put him down. And maybe not a bad play call by Mr. Zorn. He's got 13 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter.
He can still get 2 touchdowns on the board. He didn't want to throw an interception there and give the game to the Steelers. Hand might have been all for him.
Nat Terry and Randy Rudershan in double safety. Thunderfoot Herman Weaver on the goal line. He'll need a dandy here, and it is. Not much hang time, but he kicked it long. Fumbled by Terry. Rudershan still loose. Steelers have it back at their 37. And a few hearts skipped a few beats here at Three Rivers while that ball was bouncing around. Dirt Winston made the recovery.
I tell you, if it wasn't for Winston, Seattle would have had the football.
47-yard kick by Herman Weaver. Flag is down. They may walk it back again.
Five-yard penalty against Pittsburgh.
Defensive holding against the Steelers. Automatic first down. What a costly penalty that was, at least as far as Pittsburgh is concerned. And Zorn now with new life back at the 19-yard line, a first down.
And you don't give that young guy a new life. He'll burn you. Let's watch now. They're going to fill the air with footballs, down by 11 points.
He threw as pretty a pass last Sunday against San Diego on the run toward the line of scrimmage, shoulders square to the line of scrimmage to Sherman Smith, that you'll ever want to see in your life.
He throws best running.
Never broke stride. Complete to Largent at about the 32 or 33-yard line and dragged down by Donnie Shell. But that will be, I believe, another Seattle first down. And the Steelers appear to be giving them everything else under. There's a flag down. Mike, am I correct in assuming at this point they're kind of backpedaling in a deep zone and giving him the things underneath? There's a face mask. That's an obvious call against Pittsburgh again.
Boy, Steelers getting every bad break in this drive. But you're right. They're going to play pass first and then run. And that's what Pittsburgh is playing. And we talked about Jim Zorn throwing on the run. He does it as well as anyone. Look at those shoulders. Squared up, hit his receiver right between the 8 and the 0. I'd like to have that kid thrown to me. I'd still be in the league.
Well, wait till I tell Steve Tensey about that.
Oh, goodness. And Pete Lesk and 28 other quarterbacks that went through there.
So it's a first down, and the ball is now spotted at the 39-yard line. Tack on the penalty to the completion from Zorn to Largent. 124, Sims 35 of the running backs. Zorn straight back. Got the home run ball to McCullum, and he overthrew him. Mel Blount had the coverage downfield. It was 89, Duke Ferguson, I beg your pardon, not Sam McCullum. And he went for 6 on that one, as he so often does, but he overthrew him. Play fourth quarter, 21-10 Pittsburgh. It's been a lot closer than that, I can assure you, if you have just joined us for any reason. Rabel slotted 4 receivers. Zorn had to run for his life and got it back to the line of scrimmage. Excellent pressure by the Steeler front 4. Banaszak, Greenwood, Dwight White, Joe Green all around Zorn, causing some havoc.
I think, Sam, that might have been, again, that design quarterback draw. The Steeler front 4 got in there awfully quick. They caught him by the ankle, Jim Zorn, and it didn't work.
And so that superb protection that Zorn had earlier in the game is starting to break down a little bit. Newton, Lynch, Bebout, August, and company, along with the center John Yarno, going to have to gut it up. It's 21-10, and Zorn needs some time. More importantly, he needs some points.
Got to have that first down now.
Faking the blitz. Now they come late with it. Pass intended for whom I don't know, but it was not near anybody. Maybe Ronnie Howard, the tight end, 87. He wasn't within 10 yards of the ball. And Zorn now goes off on the far side, having to get the pieces back together. He has not had a particularly good day, although he's never been known for his completion percentage. But he's put it up 17 times for 148 yards on the 7 completions. The 28-yard line to a double safety of Terry, 41, and Rudershan, 40. Beautifully high spiral kick. Terry at the 15, trying to reverse his field. And he's down at about the 22-yard line. Doug Long, number 23, along with Peter Cronin, 57, there to make the stop. 11:29 to go in regulation time. You see the score. We'll be back in a moment.
Dave Parker's a powerhouse for those Pirates.
Dave Parker may just be the best all-around baseball player in the game today. But it's football we're concerned with at the moment. Harris, 25, leaps over a man. 5 or 6 yards on the carry. Terry Beeson is a man who knocked him down, along with Sammy Green.
If there's any team in the National Football League that can control the ball, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Terry Beeson, the middle linebacker, number 58, knows that. He's going to follow number 32. Makes the tackle, but Franco can rip 5 on you anytime he touches the ball.
Ken Geddes also great lateral pursuit coming way over from the right linebacker spot, and he also made contact. Gain of 6, second down 4, and if the Steelers put it up very much here, we'll be shocked up, at least in this booth.
They better not throw the ball. They don't want to give Zorn the ball back.
10:45 to go. They want to kick off as many as they can, and that way, keeping the ball on the ground, picking up first downs is the best way to do it. That will be very close to a Steeler first down, maybe a half a yard shy.
I'll test my eyes, Sam. Say it's short by 6 inches. They're going to measure, though.
You're riddled, but can leap up and hurt you anytime. Boy, your eyes are fabulous. You've got $6 million eyes, Hafner.
No speed, but I have good eyes and good hands.
Double tight end. Grossman, 84. Ted Peterson, 66. Joining Cunningham. Lynn Swan and Stallworth are both out. Third down. most important possession play for Bradshaw. An opportunity, if he can convert here, to tick off another 3 or 4 minutes on the clock.
All you have to do is execute. You should be able to make the first down easily.
Franco, first down, into the pile. He didn't have to get much, and he got it. Geddes met him, but after he had penetrated the line of scrimmage. John Cope, 55, getting up. Moon Mullins, 72. Mullins is probably the best pulling guard the team has.
Maybe the best one in the NFL.
He's what you call your all-around talent. I guess the athlete syndrome, which is so prevalent in football today. A guy who can run well, you know, do all those things despite his position. And also a bright young man. He knows the game. So the Steelers keep possession at the 33-yard line. First down at 10. And you'll Flyer spun around by Beeson. Gregory was also there. It looked like he had daylight for a moment, got spun around. He may have run into his own blocker, Sam Davis, 57. But a gain of no more than a yard on the carry by Robert Patrick Blyer, who is not feeling particularly good today after his Irish of Notre Dame got knocked off by a Mizzou.
3-0. Warren Powers, an old Oakland Raider defensive back. Put it on Dan Devine, the former Missouri coach.
From the 35-yard line, give him a gain of 1. Second down and 9. We'll update you on some baseball in just a moment after this play. Bradshaw to throw it. He's got a man over the middle. It's Swan at the 45, and that'll be a Steeler first down. Geddes tried to strip him. Look at this, Harris and Swan. Cooler heads prevail. Mullins got into it a little bit late. John Harris, the rookie out of Arizona State, having to be restrained by Ken Geddes. Swan will take no more of that nonsense after George Atkinson, late of Oakland, gave him 2 concussions. Not 1, but 2.
I think Harris a little bit frustrated. The rookie, he's seen number 88 too many times today, catching passes. It just finally caught up with him, and Lynn wouldn't take any of his guff.
Cardinals lead the Phillies 6-1 in the 7th, baseball-wise. Yankees 6-2 over the Red Sox, 5th inning. Pirates, as I mentioned, were tied at last report in the 5th with the Mets. Harris trying to get wide. Sammy Harris, 56, the left side linebacker, along with Cornell Webster, coming off to shut the run down. But the Steelers are doing, Mike, exactly what they wanted. Patera must be in mental anguish on the far side, watching the clock continue to run. It's 8:10 now left in the 4th quarter.
Perfect drive by Pittsburgh. They've kept the ball on the ground. They've thrown only 1 time. That to Lynn Swan for the first down. Patera, what do I do next to stop this crew?
5 defensive backs on a 2nd down 11 for the Steelers. Well, he can be proud of one thing, Jack Patera can. He's got the most successful second-year expansion team ever, having won 5 and lost 9 last year. Bradshaw looking downfield, throws it short of Cunningham. Terry was almost out of bounds when he released it. Mike, smart or not smart?
Well, the pass would never get to where it was intended, and it's almost an impossible throw to be running towards your throwing arm and then throw back across the field. Terry's one heck of an athlete, but that kind of throw, there's no way. He just threw it away.
You know, I talked about Patera, some of the remarkable things he did. He started with a veteran philosophy, but every time a rookie comes in and shows that he's got it, like Steve August beating out Norm Evans, I guess maybe, is that what he's headed for?
That's right. It might be Evans's turn to move on, forget the game, because that rookie has taken over. They've done it 4 or 5 times with people they got in the allocation draft. Now they found a rookie that they've drafted and trained, and they move right in.
Big play for Bradshaw, 3rd down 11. He's got Harris and Blyer as split backs. All day to throw it over the middle. He's got Stallworth at the 30-yard line. Sandwiched between Autry Beeman and Harry Justin. Finally got knocked down. Stallworth not happy.
Same exact pattern that he picked up the first down. On the other side with Lynn Swan, underneath the coverage, turns inside, in between the linebackers and corners. Wide open. Perfect throw by Terry.
Cornell Webster is a man who dived for the ankles. Well,
Harrison there with an extra hit again.
Making him pay for the catches, they say, but it's a first down. The Steelers with a big possession pass. Bradshaw has thrown very well in 3rd down situations. 16 out of 30 unofficially for about 200 yards. Another very nice day for Mr. Bradshaw. Flyer inside the 20 to about the 17. That may be a first down. Cornell Webster having to make the stop, but Flyer running very well with the football.
Short a little bit, Sam, I think, but what a great call. He has set up that draw play with the 2 passes. They weren't looking for it, and Blyer got it cracked and popped through for about 9 3/4 yards.
Steelers played last week in Buffalo with only 4 running backs, having put Delaplane and Maxson on waivers, not expecting to lose both. They did lose both. Could not bring anybody back for the Buffalo game, as you well know, Mike, having done the game. Finally were able to sign Maxson through a series of complicated maneuvers this week. So they've got 5 backs. Blyer again, first down, much more. Inside the 10, the battering ram to the 5-yard line. It'll be first and goal for the Steelers as Blyer just pulled his way through a small hole.
Rocky Blyer noted mostly for his blocking, but I'll tell you, you give him a hole and he'll run over 4 or 5 people. He did there. Nice move. Ran right over the safety man and picks up a big first down.
So the Steelers, with 5:54 to play on a turning clock, have a chance now to about salt this game away. 21-10 they lead. They have it first and goal at the Seattle 5. Bradshaw, Stallworth, knocked away by David Brown, I beg your pardon. And a very neat play by the 3rd-year pro out of Michigan.
Good eyes by David Brown. He saw that inside pattern coming, stuck a hand out, just knocked it away. That was 6.
Well, when he was here, you know, he spent some time at the local NBC affiliate. I know the young man very well. He wants to get into television.
As long as he didn't take my job.
Oh, nor mine. Very bright guy, a most articulate young man, and developing into a pretty good football player. The only Seattle Seahawk who has started every game they've played, and this is their 30th.
Steelers don't make mistakes either. They drafted him on the 1st round. He is a fine player.
2nd down, 5. Thornton trying to get outside, dipped in. Well, Beeman lost him. Look at him carry people down to the 1. The Thundering Bull, Sidney Thornton, trapped back at the 7 by Beeman, broke that tackle, then carried a couple of people to the 1-yard line.
I told you, linebackers and defensive backs do not like the way Thornton is built. All that weight down below. You get him up high and he'll just flip you around, and watch what he does to Beeman. There is the lower body strength that allows him not to be knocked off balance. Beeman ain't got a chance, and Harris doesn't want any part of him.
And when he comes in late in the game, when you're a little tired and a little sore.
Those hurt. He can hurt you.
So it's 3rd down at about the yard. Let's call it a yard and a half for the sake of argument here. It's really not. It's closer to 1. Double tight end. Grossman in motion. Bradshaw rolling. He's got Gregory in his lap, and Gregory, on a brilliant defensive effort, throws him down at the 15. Not fooled one moment was the 8-year veteran out of Wisconsin, Bill Gregory.
Bill Gregory picked up from the Dallas Cowboys right before the final rosters. Nobody touches him. Somebody blew an assignment, Sam, because you don't see a defensive lineman coming in that clean.
So Roy Girella now will attempt to make it a 14-point lead. He will attempt one from the 21-yard line. It'll be a kick of 31. Kick is up. No good. Wide to the right. And you will hear the boo birds now. Certainly nobody realizing that the spread was 14 points today, would they, Mike?
Oh, they know it, Sam.
Still a 21-10 lead for Pittsburgh. We'll be right back.
3.
With Mike Hafner, this is Sam Dover back at Three Rivers Stadium. You are looking at, I would think, a reaming out session.
Oh, he's mad at him.
Ted Peterson is the man who apparently blew the assignment on Bill Gregory, and Chuck Knoll has been jawing at him all the time you were watching whatever you were watching away from Three Rivers Stadium. We're back live, and Zorn will put it in play from his own 20-yard line. 21-10, Pittsburgh enjoying that 11-point lead, and flags are down all over. Ronnie Howard, pass complete to Sims. None of this will make any difference because Howard obviously was in motion. Incidentally, a far cry from last week. Seattle had 78 plays last week as you look at Howard move. Well, that was obvious. 78 plays, Mike. They possessed the ball for 38 minutes. This week, they've been outplayed as far as plays are concerned by the Steelers 65-46.
That's the difference in the ball game, and I wouldn't want to be Ronnie Howard going back to the huddle. Jim Zorn can shoot darts at him just looking at him.
5:03 to play in the fourth quarter. It's still a 21-10 Pittsburgh lead. If the Steelers couldn't hold it, they will be 2-0 on the year. And the Seahawks will be the reverse, 0-2, going into Shea to meet the Jets.
Remember those 17 attempts so far. We'll see how far he runs it up before the gun goes off.
He's got 5 minutes to throw it a ton, and he will, every time. Zorn dumps it off to Sims. Look at Ham. Fumbles the ball. Ham's got it at the 13-yard line. Not only did he make the tackle, forced the fumble, but recovered the fumble.
He's going to sweep the stadium afterwards, wash the jerseys and pants, and probably chauffeur Chuck Noll home. He can do it all, Sam. What a great player.
Former Penn State All-American. Now hard to believe that Mr. Ham is in his 8th season in the National Football League.
He just gets better every year. It's amazing.
So the Steelers take over at the Seattle 13-yard line. Harris 32 and Blyer 20 are the setbacks. They split Stallworth wide to the left and Swan to the right. And the icing for the cake can still be had by Bradshaw. And out to Swan in the end zone, and he overthrew him. And you got to give Cornell Webster and David Brown some great credit. They have covered the receivers fairly well today, particularly down deep in their own territory on the out patterns.
Terry threw that one away, Sam.
Don't forget our 4 o'clock games that follow. Some of you will see Miami, Baltimore, others Oakland, San Diego. And maybe a few of you will see no football. But please wait and check it out. Blyer, maybe a yard, certainly no more than that, ran smack into Terry Beeson, 240 pounds of middle linebacker in his second year from Kansas. Bill Sandifer was also there. 3rd down. Bradshaw wanting the clock to continue, but more importantly, wanting to sustain the drive here at the 13-yard line. I guess with the hash marks brought in recent years, Mike, you don't have to worry about positioning for the field goal from that distance, do you?
No angle anymore, even up close.
Bradshaw back to pass, rushes on, chased out of the pocket, fumbles the ball, and Seattle's got it back. Dennis Boyd at the 27-yard line.
Wow. I'll tell you, if Bill Cook wouldn't have tripped him up, he might have gone all the way for a touchdown. All the Steelers were going the other way. Another break, and Zorn will get his chance to reach 30 throws.
4:01 to play in the game. The other part, the most important part, is the fact that Pittsburgh leads 21-10. And while we have a moment, our thanks to Tim Fogarty and Barney McGinley, who have been spotting Pittsburgh and Seattle respectively today, and our statistician Jamie Rooney. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. Well, it doesn't take a genius, I guess, to imagine what Mr. Zorn has in mind here on every down.
You're going to see that pigskin up above the ground at least 16 feet on a regular basis.
First down at 10 at the 27-yard line. Zorn over the middle to Rabel at the 30, trying to get outside, still on his feet, and brought down at the 33-yard line. Steve Rabel out of Georgia Tech, who we were in our briefing before the game, we're told has the best straightaway speed on the ball club, but certainly doesn't run the kind of patterns that Largent and McCullum and even Ferguson do. Hurry up offense. Zorn on 2nd down. Puts it over the middle to Crawford at the 40. That'll be a first down.
Interesting. They go into their hurry-up offense with about 4 minutes to go in the game. You usually don't see that except with about 2 to go, but with them down and needing 2 touchdowns to win, Sam, they got to get after it.
So it's a first down now. Zorn not even huddling. He's got 3 plays already called. Over the middle again to Sims. breaks a tackle to the 50 into Steeler territory at the 47. And they're ready to go again. He must be calling every play at the line of scrimmage, Mike.
Gets up under the center on the first time, says, check with me, and every time he comes up to the line and calls the play.
And incidentally, a new National Football League rule requires the defense to get back and get back in a hurry. Any lagging behind will be a penalty against the defense. Zorn over the middle.
Oh, Jack Hammer.
Lambert laterals off to Ham, out of bounds. I don't know whether the lateral will go or not. A flag is down. It may have been a forward lateral.
It was, Sam. A forward lateral. He tried to get it off to Jack Ham. Ham stars, stops the drive. Then Lambert stars, stops the drive. We talked about those two linebackers, how important they were to the Steeler defense.
Look at Lambert screaming, screaming at the official.
All right, here's the play. Tried to get the pass over the middle, and look at that big opposing 58 standing there. I dare you to throw it, Jim Zorn. He threw it anyway. Going for Ferguson across the middle, and Lambert, he just threw it right to him. Now watch the attempted lateral to Jack Ham. Goes forward. It's a little tough to see from that angle, but that was the reason for the flag. The ball is dead when it's touched by Ham and controlled. And the ball will go back to the point where Lambert made the lateral.
I wanted to remind everybody about what we talked about at the opening of our broadcast, where we referred to Lambert as probably the best middle linebacker playing the pass, but I'm a little embarrassed. Anybody could have played that pass. It was right in his hands.
Threw it right between the 5 and the 8. He couldn't do anything but pick it off.
So the Steelers now will be obviously content to run the clock out. Boy, I said that once and they passed when they, during a preseason ball game with this ball club. They had a lead, comfortable lead at that. 2.5 minutes to play in the game, and they started throwing the football. I could have jumped out of the booth.
They won't do that now. A win in the NFL in a 16-game season is very important.
About to the 45-yard line. Incidentally, Mike, in thanking people as I did a moment ago, you know you saved the best for last, and we couldn't have done this broadcast without Kenny Edmondson, our producer, and John Gonzalez, our director, and the rest of the people on hand here who have helped us along.
We always have a great support crew at NBC. Coming up next, Miami-Baltimore, quarterbackless, and a great game between the Oakland Raiders and San Diego Chargers. Stay tuned.
At the 46-yard line, the Seahawks have used one of their timeouts.
We saw it in the first half. They're down 14 points. He takes them 80 yards for a touchdown. They come right back with an onside kick. This game is not over, like you said, Sam.
Here's your first final of the day, 34-24. Dallas beats the New York Giants.
Surprised at the Dallas defense giving up 24 points.
Green Bay has beaten New Orleans 28-17. We'll have more in a minute. Bradshaw straight ahead to Sidney Thornton to about the 46-yard line.
Two straight close to the vest running plays. Seattle takes the timeout again to stop the clock.
The other 4 o'clock game at Miami. Steelers would like to keep this one alive here.
They're throwing. I'm surprised.
Big first down to Big Benny Cunningham. At the 40-yard line of Seattle, that may just about do it. With 1:35 showing on the clock, Bradshaw gets the big first down to his tight end.
That may have been the discussion that Chuck Nolan, Bradshaw had on the sidelines. Let's get one more first down and bury him. Take all the timeouts away from the Seahawks and don't give it back to Zorn. Here to the game. We are not looking past this club because they are good, and that'll be a problem for them.
You're absolutely right. At the Seattle 40-yard line, Grossman coming in tight as Bradshaw calls him in. 2 running backs. And to give to Thornton. Sam Davis leading the way. Thornton goes outside. Beeman can't hold him. He falls to the 35. And this will be, if used, the final timeout for the Seahawks. Clock continues to run, 1:19. Well, either they're out of timeouts or they're going to wait.
I think they've decided that the Steelers have got it well in hand.
Swan, the big receiver in the ball game, with 6 catches for 65 yards in the opening touchdown. Cunningham had 4 catches again today. That's 7 receptions in 2 ball games for the Steeler tight end.
They discovered the tight end in Pittsburgh land.
And Zorn, surprisingly enough, didn't put the ball up nearly as often as we thought he would.
Never had a chance, never had the ball.
Rick Mosier, the rookie out of Rhode Island. Look at him run, breaking tackles to the 20. Clock continues to go. Another big Steeler first down. Rick Mosier, number 39. He sent Jack Delaplane packing, and Delaplane was a pretty promising back.
quite a hero in this town, too. Jack did a lot of things for a lot of charities, and he was very popular.
The hydroplane for his ability to run in the rain. He wouldn't have been needed today, though, would he?
Hey, don't miss the second half of the doubleheader. Miami at Baltimore, San Diego and Oakland.
19-yard line is the line of scrimmage. This may very well be the last play of the game if the Steelers elect to even run it. They have won their second straight. Bradshaw falls on the football, and that is all she wrote from Three River Stadium. A very, very nice victory for Chuck Noll, one that places him in a tie for 16th place with Blanton Collier on the all-time list. And for a man who's only been coaching for 10 years, that ain't bad. That's the end of the ball game. The final score, the Pittsburgh Steelers 21, the Seattle Seahawks 10. Now stay tuned over most of these stations for the second half.